Good morning, YouTube. Freddie Cardona here. Welcome to another episode of Driving and the News, where my mission is to record and preserve audio history for posterity for the ages. And without further ado, let's get into the news.
Platform in Jackson Heights ends with a man getting killed by an F train. Subway conductors now under orders to let passengers know whenever there are uniformed cops on the train. It's supposed to make people feel safer. Building supers have some doubts about the mayor's new plan to deal with trash. The Biden administration releasing more oil from the strategic reserve, even as prices have started dropping again. Some big news about Selma Blair and Dancing with the Stars, complete with spoiler alert. Sports, the Yankees got rained out. They'll try again today. The Rangers beat the Ducks 10-10 wins AccuWeather. Mostly sunny today and breezy. We'll have a high of 56. News time 7:21. Here's traffic and transit on the lines from Terrence Stewart.
All right, let's start with the Hudson River crossings. What you need to know about the bridges and tunnels there. Inbound George, it's 45 minutes for the upper, 30 for the lower, and it's 45 minutes for Lincoln and the Holland Tunnel as well. Outbound Holland Tunnel, outbound Route 139 after Jersey Avenue still has it disabled there, and the left lane is blocked. Now over at the East River, we're not doing too badly, but we are kind of heavy inbound at the RFK. We're not slammed, but we do have plenty of delays coming down the Whitestone Expressway, getting on Northern Boulevard, getting up to the Grand Central Parkway, and then on your way up to the RFK. It's not bad. It's the bridge itself that is. The Upper East Side is jammed on the Harlem River Drive. That is for sure. From 137th Street down to about 120th Street as per usual this time. And the rest of the East Side until you get south of Houston Street is good. What's going on south of Houston Street? Well, we have an accident on the northbound side of the FDR Drive at Montgomery. We've got northbound delays that start in Battery Park, and we've got southbound delays that start on the Lower East Side at Jackson Street right now. We have alternate side parking suspended again today citywide for religious observances. You have got to feed the meters, and we're sponsored by Cars for Kids. I'm Terrence Stewart. Your next report's in less than 10 at 7:31 on 1010 Win. Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Donate your car today.
A fight on a subway platform in Queens turned deadly yesterday. Glenn Schuck tells us what happened from Jackson Heights this morning. Glenn?
Police are saying this was a fight involving a cell phone after two men bumped into each other. The platform here at Roosevelt Avenue last evening. Police are saying the 50-year-old suspect dropped his phone onto the tracks after the two men collided accidentally, and he was angry about it. So there was a fight, and during that scuffle, 48-year-old Roberto Quintana ended up on the tracks and then was struck by an F train and killed. Here's what riders think.
Oh my gosh. It's horrible.
It's going back to the way it was in the 70s and the 80s. I was around there. Remember what the subway system was? Very dangerous.
So the 50-year-old in custody as we await word on charges. Police were viewing the surveillance footage to see if he pushed Quintana onto the tracks or if Quintana fell during the fight. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, here in Jackson Heights.
Shortly before this happened, Mayor Adams was asked about recent homicides in the transit system.
We must continue to make sure we have the police presence, the proper deployment, to do our job in law enforcement, which we have. You know, everyone knows, you know, I quote it often, the number of firearms we removed from the streets, and our action plan on the subway system.
The mayor blamed the rise in subway murders on illegal guns, although of the 8 subway killings so far this year, only 3 involved guns, 3 involved knives, and in the other 2 cases, the victim was pushed or fell onto the tracks. Subway conductors are under orders to alert riders whenever there are police officers on the train. The Daily News got a hold of an internal MTA memo from October 4th instituting the policy. It says the purpose is to make riders feel safer. Conductors are also supposed to announce when a train is pulling into a station where uniformed cops are present. City Transit President Richard Davies says it's part of an ongoing aggressive effort from Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams to make sure that riders feel safe and are safe. A man on a bike who sexually assaulted a woman in the West Village back in March may have been responsible for another, more recent attack in Murray Hill.
Police say he struck a second time on October 6th, trying to rape a 48-year-old woman along the FDR Drive service road near East 37th Street. Some women say it can be dicey here.
I don't think I'd want to be here when it was dark by myself.
Not really. This is street. So when it's dark, I never pass this road at all.
Police connected the two attacks because after the second one, they identified 28-year-old Carl Fanner from a smoke shop surveillance camera as he tried to use the victim's credit card. He's the same suspect in the March 27th assault near Pier 40 in the West Village. Police still have to find him. Roger Stern, 1010 Wins in Murray Hill.
If you make minimum wage, you can afford to rent an apartment in New York, but that's assuming you're willing to work 111 hours a week. This according to recent research by United Way. There are a few cities where you can afford the rent on minimum wage, working less than 50 hours a week. These include Buffalo and perhaps somewhat more appealingly, Tucson. It's 49 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy, some showers on the island. Humidity at 46, the winds are west at 10. 49, we're going up to 56. The AccuWeather Real Feel at the moment, 44. Wednesday news time, 7:26, and now Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins. Here's Steve Potus.
Well, Lee, shares of Johnson & Johnson may get a shot in the arm this morning. They're rising pre-market after the company's quarterly earnings came in better than expected, thanks to strong pharmaceutical sales and consumer product sales that didn't decline as much as forecast. Now, the news wasn't all upbeat, as J&J is cutting its sales guidance for the year, missing the average analyst estimate. Is the chip shortage that has tied up so many manufacturers, notably automakers, finally starting to subside? Well, it may be. According to research by Susquehanna Financial, chip delivery time shrank by 4 days in September, the biggest drop in years. But while lead times, the gap between when a chip is ordered and when it's delivered, is declining, it remains well above last year's levels. On Wall Street, pretty good. The S&P futures are higher by 60 points now. NASDAQ ahead 209. Dow futures adding 431. Bloomberg Money Watch, 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Steve Potus for 1010 Wins.
Introducing Spectrum One. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits per second. Advanced Wi-Fi with best-in-class security and privacy. Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data plus nationwide 5G. Get it all with Spectrum One. Spectrum Internet, Advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com or a Spectrum store today. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Northwell knows keeping your employees healthy is a big part of running a business. But the big price tag shouldn't be. That's one reason we created Northwell Direct, to deliver healthcare solutions to businesses. Our provider network offers your staff access to top doctors across every specialty, all while lowering costs. Raise your team's health and save up to 20% with Northwell Direct. Visit northwell.edu/network.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello? Hello there. I'm calling from Ace Research with a survey about Kathy Hochul.
Wait, kids, go upstairs. Mommy might have to use adult language.
Oh, my. Well...
Okay, Kathy Hochul, who sits in Albany and refuses to fix New York's broken bail law. You know, the liberals' little cashless bail, catch and release experiment.
Yes. That Kathy Hochul.
Want to talk about how New York has the highest taxes in the nation? How people are moving out? How even one of the newspapers admitted Hochul's budget stuck it to taxpayers.
Actually, that's not in my script.
Then, how about Hochul and pay-to-play corruption?
Ma'am, can I just ask, are you voting for Hochul or Lee Zeldin?
You kidding? This state needs to hit the reset button. And that's Lee Zeldin for governor.
Paid for by Safe Together New York, Inc. This communication was not expressly authorized or requested by any candidate or by any candidate's political committees or any of its agents.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Still have some showers on eastern Long Island. Otherwise, it's going to be breezy and chilly today with clouds giving way to some sun for the afternoon. That means they'll be able to play Game 5 of the ALDS this afternoon, unlike last night. Temperatures will slowly fall through the low 50s for the early evening as the game is being played, but weather is good enough to play it, that part's for sure. It's 49 degrees now, partly to mostly cloudy, showers on the island. Humidity is 46%. The wind's currently west at about 10 miles per hour. Current temperature 49 going up to 56, real feel 44. I'm Lee Harris, Winds News Time, 7:30.
Good morning, I'm Susan Richard. Building Super is not too confident that Mayor Adams' new garbage plan is going to work. This is all about reducing the number of rats from doing their late afternoon outdoor dining.
The sanitation commissioner and the mayor plan to change the garbage rules next April 1st. The proposal is, instead of residents in commercial buildings putting their black garbage bags out on the sidewalk at 4 p.m., they'll have to wait until 8 p.m.
We're asking New Yorkers to set out their trash later in the day, and we are coming to collect more of it earlier. And those two things come together, shrink the amount of time dramatically that an average trash bag will spend on the streets.
Commissioner Jessica Tisch says in the end, they hope the number of rats that you see scurrying about will be a lot less. The city collects 24 million pounds of trash and recycling every day. Tisch says this is not about overtime. The schedules are changing. Carol Dioria, 1010 Wins at City Hall.
Well, some building supers in the Bronx balked at the plan, telling the Daily News it doesn't matter what time of day the trash goes out, those rats are going to get at it. Could be some good news for drivers. We'll tell you what's going on in just a minute. Wins News Time 7:31. First, traffic and transit with Karen Stewart.
We're going to the northbound Clearview Expressway first. Approaching the Neck Bridge. It is a nasty ride right there. Only the right lane is open. We've got an accident. We are delayed, jammed back to the LIE now. Okay? Just trying to get northbound on the Clearview. If that doesn't turn you off to the Clearview, I don't know what will. Take the Cross Island Parkway. I know the ramp to the Cross Island is jammed off of the LIE West out of Nassau County, but I promise that's the worst of it. You're going to be okay until you get up to the Bronx-bound Frogs Neck Bridge, so avoid the Clearview. Bell Boulevard's even better, if you can manage it. Meanwhile, we've got Whitestone Expressway delays right now between Northern Boulevard and the Whitestone Bridge going into either borough. The inbound RFK is a heavy ride across the span. The Bronx span is starting to feel things with all that traffic coming from the southbound Bruckner and getting onto the northbound Deegan right by the bridge. The inbound 59th Street Bridge is not great, but it's not that bad either. And the inbound Queens Midtown Tunnel has you delayed on the LIE West from back at Van Dam Street. The Lower East Side is really where the problems are right now. The FDR northbound, the other Manhattan Bridge, has got an accident over in the left-hand lane. We are jammed on the Lower East Side right now. We've got jam-ups northbound from Battery Park and southbound from Houston Street. Alternate side parking is suspended for today. Traffic is sponsored by the Barnesburg Traffic Tip Line, 844-JAM-1010. I'm Karen Stewart on 1010 Wins.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible. Manhattan, Long Island.
Frost and freeze, it sounds like some new supervillains, but it's actually our forecast.
Yeah, it is. And for October, it's a little early for that. That's why we have the freeze warnings out, because we do think there's some areas, inland suburbs, when you get out into the Jersey suburbs around and near that 287 corridors where the freeze warnings are out, just inside that, away from the city, not the immediate Jersey suburbs that border on those counties that border on the Hudson River. Those don't have the freeze or frost warnings advisories out, but just inland from that they do. So if you've got some tender plants out and you want to protect them, you may need to bring them in tonight in those areas. And the city should be fine. It's going to get chilly, very chilly. Colder start tomorrow morning, but we'll stay, I think, above 40 throughout the most, if not all, the city tonight.
Wow, so we got freeze warning and frost warning alerts already on the news this morning for July 18th. July? What the heck is wrong with me? October 18th, 2022. We had a fight in New York in the subway with someone falling on the tracks, and Biden going into the oil reserves and garbage pickup programs and other stuff today. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with me today on this Driving in the News, and we'll see you on the next one.